Welcome, welcome. Happy Friday. Hey, Kaylee. How you
doing? Hey, good. How are you? How are you?
I'm great. I'm so excited to welcome everyone to Critically
Crypto.
I'm your co-host, Crypto Bay J.
I'm your other co-host, Kaylee.btc. You guys can call me Kaylee.
Yes, and we're here to teach you how to do your own research on high quality NFTs while we drop a little alpha along the way. So tell me about your week, Kaylee. How you been? How's it going?
Oh, it's been a great week. A lot of stuff's happening in crypto. We're seeing a lot of emerging NFTs. We're going to talk about some great stuff today. Music NFTs, photographies, and most importantly, communities.
Communities is our big topic for today, but I did want to go over the top 10 quickly. So I'm going to pull it up for the Ethereum NFTs, and then you get your setup and we're going to go at it. So I'm going to share my content with you guys. And, you know, I really wanted to go over the top 10 because it's changed a little bit since we last talked about and gone over the top 10. Of course, I am on OpenSea. I'm like, where's OpenSea? I'm on it. So I wanted to talk about that. Let's go back to the rankings. Let's see over the last 7 days what's been going on. So you guys, number 1 is Goblin Town.wtf. Okay, this is a new NFT project. The floor price is 1.79. Okay, number 2, Other Deed for Other Side. We've talked about that project. It is down 36% and the floor price is 2.85. I think that is something to look into. Okay, Trippy Ape Tribe. We have another Solana NFT that's in the top 10 on OpenSea. That's really exciting. Trippy Ape Tribe. It's sitting at a floor price of 58 Solana. And last time I checked, Solana was around, $50 per Solana. So I just kind of want to see what that price is right now if I were to buy it. Okay, so about $2,400.
Oh, wow.
All right, number 4, Bored Ape Yacht Club is a mainstay. It's down 26% at a floor price of 89 Ethereum. We have All Night Birds. This is a new entry onto the top 5. It's sitting at 0.27 Ethereum, and I'm just gonna click on it really quickly. Let's see, the stunning collection of 10,000 all-night birds. Tech is the future and NFT is the future of art. Okay, this looks like a copycat of Moonbirds. But I will do more research to figure out what this project is, a little bit more about that project. Okay, so number 6, Mutant Ape Yacht Club. That's a mainstay. It is down over the past week, 11%, sitting at 17.5 Ethereum. Then we have Moonbirds Oddities, which is a derivative project from the Moonbirds. It's sitting at 2.96 Ethereum and could be a good entry point for some people because Moonbirds are, I think the main project is sitting at somewhere around $100,000. So this could be a good entry point for other people who were priced out of their other project. Okay, number 8, Chimpers. It is down 30% over this last week, sitting at 1.8 ETH as the floor. And I want to, Chimpers are a collection of 5,000 generative NFT pixel characters created by Timpers HD. Chimpers are your digital identity for the Chimperverse and your passport to adventure. Okay, and these are what these chimps are looking like. All right, and let's see, number 9, OK Bear is the Solana project is still in the top 10. It is down 73% this week. I'm sitting at 155 Solana. So it's, I would say, doing fairly well. Then at number 10 is this project called Boki. It is up 594% this past 7 days. It's sitting at 0.18 Ethereum. I'm going to click on this. It kind of is giving me Doodles vibes. Almost. Yeah. Almost. Aww. They're cute though, right? They're cuties. So that I would, for people that are looking for something that's a little bit more affordable, 0.17, just to give those who aren't familiar with the pricing of Ethereum at the moment, that's about $309. It's $309.27. So that's something that a lot of people can afford and jump in if they were interested. Obviously, this is not financial advice. You have to do your own research. Just going over the top 10. So that is your OpenSea Ethereum top 10 for this week. And Kaylee, what you got?
Yes, all righty. Let's hop into the top 10 Stacks projects. So number 1, we have Hucha's Booze Brains. So this is a collection by Boozy, who's an artist in the Stacks ecosystem. And there are currently a few hundred of these, from what I believe, and they're doing really well. So their floor price is about 1,600 stacks, and we're seeing a strong community base here. People who have bought in originally are holding, and the ones who are selling are listing each NFT pretty high. So this is pretty cool. I'm not in this project, but I've seen it around the ecosystem, and it does look really cool. I'd have to look into this a little bit more, though.
The artist.
I'm sorry. I believe it's about 25 of the collection, give or take. Yeah, the art's really cool, right?
Mm-hmm. I like it.
Number 2, we have Marbling. Marbling is a newer collection that released earlier in May. This is what this project looks like, guys. Oh, I'm sorry. The floor for Hucha's is 1.6 stacks. And then their sales volume today is 2.5 thousand stacks. Marbling has 1,600 stacks as their sales volume, and their sales floor is 70 stacks. So the artwork for these projects are really cool. They're each also unique and different. So you're definitely getting a vibe here for the artistic vision for these projects. And guests actually just minted today, and their floor price for the OGs and whitelisters, they've listed at 69 stacks, and the mint price was about 50 stacks. And their current sales volume today is 1,300 stacks. Number 4, we have the Explorer Guild. So their sales volume today is 1,300 stacks, and their floor price is 60 stacks. Number 5, we have Monkey Coin, which their sales volume today is 747 stacks, and their floor price is 60 stacks. So again, this is an airdrop to Bitcoin Monkey. So if you do hold an OG Monkey, you would have received a coin, and some coins are worth more than others. So if you do have a Bitcoin Monkey, definitely check that out. Number 6, we have Crash Pumps. So their total sales volume today is 614 stacks, and their floor price today is 113 stacks. Excuse me, guys. Number 7, we have Mutant Monkeys. So their total sales volume today is 552 stacks, and their floor price is 143 stacks. Number 8, we have Satoshiables. So right now, Satoshiables is in the spotlight. Their companion collection, Monster Satoshiables, on ETH is currently bridging over the stack. So if you do hold a Satoshable, this is going on right now. So their community is getting a lot of visibility right now. So definitely check that out if you're interested. So again, they're number 8, their sales volume today is 500 stacks, and their floor price is 420 stacks. Number 9 is Shavs of Light Townsfolk. So this is, I believe, a companion collection to Nonish, or the original collection. So this is more of the elite collection. So if you do own this, you do get privileges. So here, the sales volume is 412 stacks, and their floor price is 69 stacks. And last but not least, Stack Spy, which is part of NFT Spy, which is more a platform where you can look at NFTs and spot deals and buy and trade NFTs. So they actually launched their collection this week, and we said their total sales volume is 393 stacks, and their floor price is 53 stacks.
Thank you for going over that. We got some projects to look into on the stack side of things if anyone, hasn't jumped in on that side. So I definitely would, take a second, third, and fourth look at some of these projects. So I want to, are you gonna share the PowerPoint?
Yes, can you see it on the screen?
No, still see stacks, but I just want to shout out a few people that are in the chat. So Nappy Way stopped by and is going to watch the replay. Make sure you like and share the show, guys. Give us a thumbs up if you feel like you're learning something, you're getting something out of this. We really appreciate it. Okay. Shout out to Landon Johnson. He says Huxley Comics NFTs are going off right now. And Third Eye Club is as well. And Alipio Rodriguez says, yo, thanks for checking in. I've seen your names in the chat and would love to meet you guys in person, down the line, if that is possible. But thank you. Drop your questions, your comments in the chat, and don't forget to like and share.
Yes.
All right, y'all. So today I really wanted to talk about community because I just came from VCon and it was all, a community, hug fest where everyone was just, loving on each other, excited, at those conferences, like the magic happens in, the line waiting for the bathroom, waiting for the food, the concession stand, the food truck, like waiting for your Uber outside of the conference and striking up conversations with people. That is really where, like, that's the secret sauce of all of these things. So it doesn't really matter, like, what panel discussions happen, what kind of excitement that they try to sell you on, like, being there in person and meeting the other community members is really where you get the most value. And so I just thought it was appropriate. Like, okay, I'm sure if you're new here, you probably hear the word community all the time. What is a community? What does that really mean? And why do we stress it so much in the NFT community and in the crypto community at large? So community is an active group of like-minded individuals gathered for a similar purpose, right? So what does that actually look like? Joining the Discord, exactly. Talking in Discord, hanging out on Twitter spaces, joining the conversation, seeing what community members have to share and offer. Because basically in the NFT space, like, we value everyone's opinions, especially if they have something to offer that makes sense. And so whether that's on Twitter or on the Discord, we listen to each other, we communicate with one another. And so it's people that contribute regularly kind of rise to the top, and people take notice and really, ask them for their opinions. To obviously we're in a new market and a space that we're growing, so we want people's opinions to add to, like, the industry and where we can go in the future. You have anything to add to this, Kaylee?
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on what that looks like. Being active in Discord, watching conversations play out. In Discord, you have direct access to other members in the NFT group. You have access to the team, access to the moderators. You have access to other partners who are also active in Discord. So that ties everybody together. There's no hierarchy. So you never feel like one person is above somebody else. It's great in that way where people feel like they can talk to each other. There's no competition. It's you and I are in this together. We're investing our time. We're making this stronger together. Events, like you mentioned, the Twitter Spaces. I feel like everybody and their mama is on Twitter Spaces now.
Yes,
like
everyone is.
If you want to know what's going on in a project, you join a Twitter Spaces, you ask to speak, you can talk to the founders, you can talk to anyone and ask questions in an open setting. So it takes away that uncomfortable feeling of, am I being judged? Am I going to say something stupid? It takes that completely away.
Yes. AMAs, if you see that, that's a Ask Me Anything. That's kind of like standard now, whether it's on Twitter or on Clubhouse or in the Discord, because in Discord, there are live chats that happen there as well, where, again, the same thing is happening. These are just different places that people hang out.
Yeah. So you have variety too. It's good that way.
Yes. And so, and people, we all have our, apps that we like more. So I think it's just the way that we learn, or, whatever it's our personality type. You might really like Telegram. That might be your thing. And so basically wherever people are having conversations in the crypto space, in the NFT space, it's having events and attending those events catered to that community. So why is community important? Community is the backbone of any project or community. It brings people together for a purpose, right? So it helps to build and strengthen an NFT project, because we have to lean on each other. This is a cooperative industry where both sides can speak as loud as the other side. So before, right, there was a lot of one-way communication from the CEO or the marketing team of whatever corporation, and they are sending their message out one way to customers. But in this space, the community members they're able to amplify their voice just as loud as the people who are running, the project. And so that's why it's so important that we work together, and we value each other, and that projects also respect the community and listen to what they have to say. You have anything you want to add to that, Kay?
Yeah. You said it very well. Like there's visibility, it's transparency. Like what you see is what you get, and anybody can say anything. Even if it's a bad idea, it's welcomed, because feedback is feedback. If they want to talk about how they disagree with the opinion, they will, but at least your opinion gets heard. So that is, like Crypto BJ said that is something different from Web 2 that Web3 offers for everyone. It's open, it's direct, it's clear, it's transparent. Everybody gets a say.
Yes. Obviously, the community helps to inform and spreads word to other people and other platforms. And also, again, we talked about that creates an open environment to connect with others. That's the bigger purpose of the community, to be a support to one another. And so whether that is one project to the next project, we self-regulate in the NFT community. When someone takes advantage of us, right, by putting out maybe a shitty project or does something, we share that information, so other people in the community don't have to get burned, right? And so again, this cooperative lifestyle that I think is really beneficial. I think it makes us more accountable for our actions and for what we do, because your fellow community members are going to kind of check you on it, so I think it helps people to think twice before they say crazy things, and also before they do crazy things to take advantage of others.
Agreed. Another great thing about community is, like during the bear markets right now, we see the community members, they're buying the floors to show that, hey, you know, even though the market is down, I'm a part of this project long term. You know, this is somewhere I see myself long term. I'm putting 10 toes down into this project, and they actually will deter profit takers. They will actually maintain the project over time. And we'll see that, like Crypto BJ said, they'll inform other communities about it. And like you said, with the scammers, if something happens, everybody's going to know about it. Mm-hmm. So they connect, they spread awareness through that way, and they deter profit taking.
Yep. Community versus customers. Okay. A lot of people, when they hear the word community, they think that it's just like a masked way to say customers, but it's not. It is a more holistic, like we kind of already talked about. It's totally different, because really with customers, you're serving them one thing. A lot of times you're serving them one product, and maybe you are serving them several products, but they're collecting that product, whether it's a bottle of water or and they drink it and then they move on with their day. They might really like a bottle of water, but rarely do people hang out and talk about and have social events about the bottles of water that they drink, right? Because it's just a bottle of water, right? But here in the NFT space, we're really passionate about like people achieving financial freedom. And so we're really coming together. I'm thinking from the community perspective to share in that sentiment, no matter what project it is, because we're like cheering each other on to get to that, you know, goal. And so like as a business person coming into this space and thinking that they are approaching the space as they are customers and they can just sell a product and move on, that's the wrong thinking, and it will rub the community in the wrong way, because obviously the community is looking out for each other, looking for people that are investing in the community for the long term. So as you see here, community is support, all right, a part of a home, deters FUD, informs to learn, sustains credibility, and long term has a bigger goal, sees a bigger picture, which I'm saying is financial freedom. You want to handle the customers, Kaylee?
Yes. So your customers are going to be like the flippers, the people who are only here for a quick profit and then they're moving on to the next project. So they're financially driven. They're not seeing the big picture. They only want the profit taking, and they're here for a good time, not a long time. So that's the short-term aspect. And they're only incentivized to through a profit. So again, the flippers, if the project doesn't maintain a floor price for maybe a week, maybe it falls a little bit, and you know they're not waiting for the next utility, they're not waiting for the next AMA, they're not waiting for the next newsletter to come out. They're just trying to shut it down because they're upset in the moment, which is very damaging to the project and you it's yourself when you do that, because it just shows that it's more me, and it turns people off. People can easily tell, you know, who's here to help and who's here to burn bridges down. So these are things to keep out for in the community. You can to look out for people who are here for the long term, who want to see the community grow, who want to see the project flourish, and for the people who will just want to make a quick buck and then move to the next project.
Yep. What do we have for the next slide? So how to get involved. Obviously, we kind of talked about it a little bit. As far as Discord, join a server of your favorite project that you're thinking about joining, or a project that you don't like. Set up a presence, like, you know, join, you know, start to engage, start to have conversations with people, meet the team. because all of the team members, the mods, are usually listed in the Discord, in some area of the Discord where where it's verified their identity. And if you don't want to message them there, you can also find their names and find their information or whatever their name is, and usually find them on Twitter as well. So you can meet the team. We talked about joining AMA opportunities to actually have conversations with the team. So that is one way that you can get involved.
Yep. A second way to get involved is through social media. So you're following the NFT's main Twitter page, you're following the founders, you're following the partners, you're seeing, what does this look like all together? You're looking through the comments and the posts of the Twitter page. You're seeing who are these people who are commenting? Are they bots, or did they just make their Twitter account? Are they just leaving comments to look like it's active? Or are these actual people within the community who want to see the project grow, or who want to get into the community because they think it's a good investment and a good place to put their time? So that's one thing. Always vet the comment section and the post and make sure that it's not just bots. That's a huge thing on Twitter.
Yes.
And participate, yeah. And guys, participate in Twitter spaces. Like we mentioned before, this is a great way to talk with people and to meet people in other communities. It's a good way to branch and network, but it's also a good way to vet projects, to double check, on utility coming out, to make sure things are going as they say they're going to go. And it's just a good way to cross your T's and dot your I's.
Exactly. If you have questions about a project, or there's some aspect of the project, which is questions. If you have questions about a project, you can ask people, whether they're the official, moderators, or people who are just really in tune with the project. They're going to answer your questions for you. How does this work? How do I set this up? The community is there for you, as long as you interact with it. When a new project comes out that I'm interested in, or and not even an NFT project, it can be a metaverse project, and I want to know more about it. I want to know how many people are even using this metaverse or are in tune with this metaverse. I go to Discord and I kind of check it out and see, what's going on. So, keep that in mind. So community development, because a lot of people out there want to create their own projects and they want to know how to develop their own communities. So quality over quantity of members is really important, because you want people who are there, who believe in the project, who are going to uplift the community, that are going to be good energy, good vibes, right? So that's really important. Like if you go and pay somebody to put a whole bunch of bots in your in your Discord, like we're going to eventually see that. When you launch your project, you're going to eventually see that, out of the 10,000 NFTs, you only sold 500. So it's like, this is not about cheating here. Like, just build and take the time necessary to build. Supportive community base to help foster growth. Yes, and with good people. So you're looking for good people who really care about whatever it is your mission is, whatever you're trying to grow. And obviously, when you have those people that believe in your mission and believe in the fact that you are committed and you've been consistent, and that they believe that mission will be achieved, they're going to be supportive, and they're going to tell other people about your project. Kaylee, you want to finish this slide up?
Yeah, first. So activities and events to help maintain engagement. So a lot of times when they're building, like right now, so the bear market, people are building, projects are building, they'll have events that are either collaborations with other NFT projects. So you'll have a joint collaboration and they'll give out prizes. So sometimes that'll be like a poker game tournament, or it could be a trivia night. So they're hosting these events to maintain engagement in the Discord. That way people can, members have something to look forward to, and they're rewarded for their engagement. So it's showing like, hey, we're building right now, but we still want to maintain engagement. We want you guys to have fun and enjoy the project while we're building. And to show that, we're giving you guys prizes. We want you guys to work together. We want you guys to talk and get to know one another. So this is a really good way to build up the community. Creating utility or an opportunity that rewards time investment. So that's just like saying, hey, we're going to make sure we have staking, or we're dropping a companion collection. That's going to be a way that they can reward you for your time. So we're looking at like Bitcoin monkeys. They airdropped mutant monkey vials. I'm sorry. They gave away mint spots for mutant monkeys to their holders. This allowed people to be like, hey, I don't have to pay for this. I have a mint spot, so I can just mint this for free. Or in later collections, they'll let you mint for free. So these are ways to incentivize holders. Like, hey, you guys actually care about my investment, and you're showing me that you care.
Yes, because we can watch the floor all day, right? And the floor can go up and down. But if you want to have people that are going to stay in the project, you have to drop rewards over the long term, so that they aren't so fickle as the floor price goes up and down. Because really, the community members are setting the floor price. And if someone really needs to sell something because they have some kind of emergency, or they really need the cash, that can just be a 1 or a 2-time event. And it doesn't really say like how much the project is really worth.
Yep. Partnerships to boost audiences and credibility. So a lot of times you'll see big blue chip projects collaborate with other smaller projects. So they they boost audiences. So it helps those projects grow, and it helps build credibility. Oh, wow, Megapont is partnering with CrashPunks, or Megapont is partnering with Minotauri. Like these are good examples of how they're boosting projects and showing, hey guys, we just vetted this project, we're established, and we believe that there'll be another good project to look at. So this is how you can see that grow. And you'll actually see people from that community, like the Megaponts, to go into Minotauri. And now they're boosting up the community. They're creating a larger conversation, and you see people growing communities and being rewarded in that way. Because a lot of these partnerships, they have incentives, like they do whitelist giveaways, or they give away other things. So that's one way to establish a community within the partnerships.
Yes. There's so many examples of exactly what you just said. You could ask me on the side. You could DM me to talk if you wanted to talk about examples of just, maybe we'll cover that, like successful partnerships that have happened, and different types of giveaways that have rewarded and incentivized the community over time. Obviously, I've talked to you about Gary Vee 50 million times, but he's really good at that. And I think a lot of other people have been learning from his examples. So, community culture. All right. So, basically, most people in the crypto space, they go by their alias, because most people like their privacy online, and they like to have conversations without having without having their identity identified. So also the names also that are unique sparks attention, right? So I'm Crypto Bay J, I'm into crypto. Immediately when you meet me, it's like, oh yeah, she's the crypto chick. That's important for me, for my branding as well, because I want people to know me as that in their mind, and it helps with memory. So that is specifically for me. But again, a lot of people have different areas of their personality, and so they're showing you a specific area of their personality that's connected to whatever this community that they are in. And so that's another reason I think get opportunities quicker. Why do you say that, Kaylee?
So I've noticed with people, they usually do this little trick. Like they'll put their name, like say Cameron.btc/CrashPunks. And when you're a mod and you're scrolling through chat and you're responding to people, you're going to notice that. Like so-and-so's asking this question. Oh, wow, they took the time to put CrashPunks in their name, or they made a really cool, unique name around CrashPunks to get attention. So that shows mods in the team, this person's serious. They want a whitelist role. So now when I'm giving out whitelist roles, I'm more likely to remember that and to reward them. And sometimes it's unconscious and sometimes it's conscious. Like sometimes, I don't think about it when I'm a mod, or there are times where I'm like, you know what? I want to see how this person engages within the community. So these are like telltale signs for people to know, like, hey, this person's serious. Let me make sure that they get the whitelist spot they're seeking because they really want to be a part of this and they really want to see it grow.
Yeah, I have something to add to that. So, at VCon, when I went to Bitcoin Miami, everyone introduced themselves with their alias. That was pretty common.
I love it. I love it.
Right? When I went to VCon, most people introduced themselves with their first name and their government name, which let me know that most of these people are newbies and they're new in the space. And one of the celebrities that was talked about how she felt like, why do you guys use those words and those terms? Why can't you just use regular English so that we can understand? And I think people feel that same way about the name, when you introduce yourself as your alias as opposed to your government name. And it's like, this is our community. Like, this community created its own culture and you're trying to come into our community and say, like, you don't like the way we do things. Like, everybody else that's joined this community has gotten in to learn all of the different secrets and all the little jokes, which makes the community fun. It makes it diverse. It makes it something different than whatever else is out there in the real world. So it's very arrogant of you to come into someone's community, whether it's crypto NFT community or their neighborhood community, and then start pushing your own agenda and what you feel onto the community and how it should run. So I just want to throw that out there.
Yes, that's a great point. I kind of took it a different direction with the in Discord opportunities and advantages to that. I'm glad you mentioned that. I do think it's odd when people do that because it's like, this is not Web 2. This is Web 3. Meet us where we are at. It's like when people come into Bitcoin, like, oh, I'm here to fix Bitcoin. No, you're not. No, you're not. It reminds me of that.
Yeah. Which leads into attitude is everything.
Yeah. So some community culture etiquette tips. So if you're new and you're navigating the Discord and you're a part of a community, you're going to notice a lot of people check in. They check in the mornings. They say good morning. They check their announcements. They say good afternoon, good night, good morning. This sets a tone. It lets you know, so-and-so is here. They're checking in constantly or throughout the day sometimes. And they're here to make sure the community is up and running. They're here to check in. They want to maintain engagement. These are some etiquette tips that you'll see throughout most Discords. Respect mods, teams, be positive and negative. By that, it's like, be good cat, bad cat. If you have questions, make sure they're balanced and not sounding overtly like negative. Always like, don't come off saying when. It can also give off, like we mentioned before, a customer attitude where you're just here for like, when is the release, when mint, when mint date. It just kind of looks like you're here to make a quick buck and to leave. Always keep your comments balanced. What do you think, Crypto BJ?
Yeah, I was just gonna add when moon. Like, when it's mooning, we all gonna know. Mm-hmm. We all know. But yeah, it's like, from the creator side, when I think about it, and a lot of people have asked me if I wanted to create my own NFT project, and I'm just like, I don't know about that one. Right now it's mostly no, but maybe in the future. The reason being is it is so time consuming. These people do not eat, they do not sleep, they live and breathe their projects 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Like, it's almost worse than corporate America. like launching an NFT project. Like that's how time consuming it is, especially if it's a large scale project, not like if I'm just doing like a one-off NFT. And so like, you know, people can't announce amazing information every single day. You know what I mean? Like people need time to build, you know, to come up with the next event, to come up with the next surprise, you know? So like sometimes in, you know, NFT community world, it's like, you know, maybe there was a pump and people are like, when are we gonna have another pump? And it's like, you guys, they're building something for the long term. And, you know, you can't pump, you can't like, you will crash and burn trying to push out surprises and exciting partnerships every other week. You know what I mean? So people have to be patient. That is really important. Okay, so again, for community culture, navigating the Discord. Okay, so I'm gonna, since I talked about partnerships, I'm just gonna talk about number 2, partnerships. So partnerships help foster growth between communities. It also helps with marketing and other opportunities. So she kind of, Kaylee.btc kind of touched on this already, but bigger projects like to partner with smaller projects. They help them. They kind of mentor them. They also can create really cool opportunities and like cross promote different projects. So obviously if you have like a music NFT, you know, with the gaming NFT, you guys can come up with really cool like events. And so whether it's from a marketing perspective, it's from a community perspective, you know, creating culture, participating in partnerships, and can create the culture and sustain the culture in a particular project.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Adding on to that, navigating Discord. So we did touch on this a little bit. Usually when people check in, besides saying good morning, good afternoon, good night, they will always check announcements because that's like this is your meet. So you go into announcements, you see what they're building, you see the latest newsletter information, you see the latest partnership, you see the latest utility announcement. This is where you're going to get your bread and butter for your projects. And also to remember, you can opt in for special roles in Discord. So it will literally ping you every message that they release. So say the team is talking about way to get latest opportunities. You want to opt in for that role. And that's like clicking an emoji or reacting to an emoji for a role. And that can either be for games, other opportunities, and so on and so forth. Basically what we talked about before, events, whitelist spots, and other things.
Okay, guys. So we decided that we were going to cover some really cool NFTs that are sizzling up for this summer, and I'm gonna cover some music NFT news, but I'm just gonna take a moment real quick because the chat is a little jumping right now. I want to thank you guys all for dropping your comments. Someone asked, Kaylee, have you heard of this project? It's called let's see, Awkward Asters.
No, I haven't.
Okay, well, we have not heard of the project, but there's so many projects to keep up with. But I will tell you to use our pillars, our NFT rubric to definitely research the project. But if you're getting it for free, or if you're getting like an allow list spot, then it's saying, if you're getting it for free, I mean, you can't really lose, right? You can't really lose. You don't have to put any money. So I would just, just hold on to it and see how it does when it does mint out. So there's this conversation about Cardano, and this is just what I want to say. It's someone said that they felt like they weren't going to watch our channel anymore because we didn't really endorse Cardano, and they felt some kind of way about it, and it's like, we're educated. before I even say all of that, what I want to say is, when we are sharing information with a lot of newbies, we want to share with them the most practical information as possible and not necessarily the most risky information, right? And so Cardano still needs to prove itself over the long term. Bitcoin has already proven itself. That is why there's mass adoption happening, right? Mm-hmm. And so I just want you to understand why we might give it the advice that we do. If any of the different content creators on this channel, when we are, these are some of the things that we are keeping in mind. Definitely, you know, Bitcoin Zay and King Bless for sure. And they'll tell you why they like a project or don't like a project or whatever. But from my understanding, Cardano has a lot of potential, but we just haven't seen it really do its thing over the long term. And and that's, I feel like, what we would need to see to be able to say, you know, Cardano's the next hot shit. You have anything to add to that, Kaylee?
I support exactly what you said. I will say that I have yet to hear about any blue chip Cardano project. I've heard of Cornucopias, which is a metaverse on Cardano, and I know they have NFTs that are a part of their metaverse project. But Cardano itself, I have not heard of any up and coming projects that have had people go in looking to build a community there. Like you said, they're still building, which they are. And once we see results, we will definitely speak on them, but also take into consideration that what we teach here, you can really take to any blockchain because it's NFT basics, right? What you learn about community or doing your own research, it's not for one chain. It's something you can use among all the chains because, in my opinion, I think they're going to be multi-chains where you can connect to all different types of chains. But they're going to be, you can use what you learn here anywhere. So I don't think it's fair to say, you don't talk about Cardano specifically. Well, when we teach you about something, it can be used in Cardano. I just personally, I don't have the experience to talk about Cardano NFTs. So I definitely don't want to talk on something that I like that can give you guys false information on.
And I think he's just talking about the coin in general. I don't think he's talking about, even though there are Cardano NFTs. And you know, it's almost as if it's like us, we're investing in NFTs. So that is risky in itself. It's risky in itself. So I could take the same money that I invested in a NFT and put it into Cardano and see, you know, how it does over the long term. If you're a community member, of course you want it to do well and perform well. But I don't know, guilting people into like, why you ain't investing in Cardano? I don't know if that's gonna make people.
It's not.
Cardano. So anyway, that's our little talk about Cardano. But if it works for you, I know a lot of people that like it and they love what is projected to do in their white paper. And if you believe in it, dope. Like, we all can be excited about different things. There's a lot of people that are into crypto and not into NFTs, and we're super excited about it. So it's just like, okay, everything is, you know, different strokes for different folks.
Yeah, and it's okay to be different. It's okay to not, it's okay. Like, say we talk about stocks NFTs, ETH NFTs. If you don't see anything about Cardano and it doesn't pique your interest, that's okay. You know, just because we don't talk about Cardano doesn't mean it's the end of the world. It's okay to have different interests. No one's going to hold your feet to the fire and shame you for being a part of a different community. It's all okay.
Yeah, exactly. What are your thoughts on ETH long term? I think my thoughts depend on this merge, Ethereum merge. That is going to determine, you know, where I think it's going and how I feel about it. As of right now, I'm not doing a lot of frivolous transactions on ETH. So I'm not so angry about the gas fees at the moment. And I I've strategized. I've created a lifestyle around Ethereum gas fees. So I know if, I need to send somebody something, like I'm doing that, in the middle of the night, 3:00 in the morning, I'm going to set an alarm, right? And I'm going to check to see how much it is. So like so I'm changing my lifestyle around that. Is everyone else going to be able to do that? I mean, probably not. But like I said, until the information about Ethereum merge is released, I don't really have much of a comment. Obviously, it's the number 2 dominating cryptocurrency that's out there. So I mean, that just kind of speaks for itself.
Yeah.
Okay. Back on NFTs. Back on NFTs. So we're gonna talk about some music NFTs. Hey, some music NFTs. Oh, okay. So sharing my screen. All right. So I want you guys to know about sound.xyz. This is a platform where you can learn about, you can find different music NFTs, and you can get in early with different artists, and it's all recorded on the blockchain that were special and you knew about this artist before they blew up. Specifically for me, that makes me excited because I knew about Anderson .Paak before a lot of people knew about Anderson .Paak. So if I could get credit for that on the blockchain, even though my friends do give me credit for that, I guess that's a little like bragging rights, So I'm just going through the website, and I'm gonna just read a little bit about it. What is sound? Sound is how music should be, driven by the relationship between listeners and artists. We're creating a platform for a more collaborative music movement built on Web3 technology and values on sound. Users support the artists they love directly and stake their claim on being there before everyone else. You launch a listening party. Putting out a new track should be an event, not an afterthought. Sound gives artists a chance to debut new music as a set of NFTs. Each edition of the NFT is numbered uniquely, so listeners can showcase their early support. Since early editions are considered more valuable than later editions, backers are incentivized to discover new music early. Right? Own the movement. Each sound NFT is more than just a song. Own a song's NFTs grants the backers the ability to make a public comment on the song. 3, create a culture. In addition to owning the song and etching your name in its history, sound NFTs are your access pass to sound community on Discord. And so that's a little bit about Sound XYZ. And I'm going to go over to Audius, which is really cool because now you have music NFT playlists that are available through Audius. Starting today, you can listen to and showcase all of your Ethereum and Solana music NFTs in a single auto-generated playlist directly from the Audius platform. So obviously, music NFTs, they are not CDs or they're not streaming on Spotify. So we need a place where we can actually listen to the music NFTs and not just hold them in our wallets. And so that's what Audius does, which is really cool. So I wanted you guys to know that that is out there. All right, moving right along. So before I go into, actually, I'll go into this first. So if you don't know, Troy Carter, he's very well known in the music business. He used to manage Outkast, he used to manage Lady Gaga, John Legend. The list kind of goes on. So Troy Carter's Venice is launching an NFT gated members club offering artist services, studios, and more. So musicbusinessworldwide.com is like a go-to resource for people in the music business, as I was a person in the music business. All right. Troy Carter's Venice Music is simultaneously expanding into Web3 and launching its own private members club. The company has today taken the wraps off of the new NFT gated project called Venice Music Collective. Among the perks on offer for artists accepted into this collective, access to a physical space in Los Angeles called Venice House, which includes recording studios and a pool, and is claimed to offer the creative spirit of Laurel Canyon into the modern day era. So I don't know if you guys know what Laurel Canyon is, but it's in the mountains of Los Angeles, which is really like beautiful. Right. So you just probably when they say pool, I'm thinking infinity pool vibes. OK. Launch at the start of 2021. Troy Carter and Susie Rue offers music services to indie artists, including distribution, marketing, and A&R support, plus creative, digital, and sync services. Venice says that since its launch a year and a half ago, it has curated a group of creative geniuses. This includes over 100 artists, producers, managers, and indie labels. Some of those partners include Amine, Riot Games, more people, Sonder. Venice says that these 100 plus partners have crossed over 1 billion streams collectively within a short period of time. Now Venice wants to formalize and expand its community of artists, producers, and more in a form of official membership. This club can be accessed by purchasing an NFT so long as your application is approved. So it says the NFT dubbed Venice Music Collective Genesis Pass will cost around 0.2 ETH, which is valid from June 1st until May 31st, 2023. And you have to renew it every year. And according to their website, 10% of all primary and secondary sales of the NFTs will flow back into the community treasury, where members will be able to vote on how the funds are allocated across the artist projects and community initiatives. So they have inside of the space, they have access to recording and creative workspaces, equipment rentals, community events. They have like a podcasting area in this particular house that they've rented. So it sounds really freaking cool. And I'm excited about that because a lot of artists have difficulty having a place to record and hang out and take photos and, you know, create content, all that kind of stuff. So I really feel like this is, and you're already, so having that utility in addition to kind of being in the vicinity of Troy Carter, and if you are a really bomb artist and the music is great, like you're already in that ecosystem and they're definitely going to like push your music. I just think it's a win-win. So I was really excited to see him do that. And last but not least for the music NFTs is Thread. So we talked about the NFT community. We talked about crypto community all on Twitter here. And so this is a really great thread about music NFTs. I've quickly become one of the largest music NFT investors in the world. And all right, sorry about that. I just got a call. Can you see me? Let me see.
Yeah, we can see your screen.
Oh,
so yeah.
Okay. All right. Here's why I believe the sector will 100x in under a year. Now, under a year is, you know, he's saying big things. So streaming is broken. It does a dismal job of monetizing and encouraging authentic engagement with super fans, right? All right. He says, NFT ownership creates super fans. Everyone knows the feeling of being early to an artist and knowing they will blow up. Now you can capture that upside by investing in them early, right? Imagine if you had purchased Kanye's first album as an NFT before he blew up. You would be rich. Okay. Emotionality of ownership. Music NFTs have a higher emotionality than NFTs, and emotions really drives people to purchase. Music hits different when you own it. Moving on to owning a feeling is powerful. Not only by a feel that all of that stuff doesn't matter. They just whatever. But yes, we know emotions and feelings push people and motivate people to buy. All right. Music NFTs are currently underpriced. I do agree with that. There are hundreds of individual PFP projects with a bigger market cap than the rest of all music NFTs combined. So that is something to consider. Freemium model wins. In recent years, video games have adopted a freemium model. In doing so, they have monetized better than every other industry. Music NFTs enable this freemium model for the first time. Okay, live experience utility. NFTs have the potential for in real life experiences that money can't buy. And most PFP projects, okay, basically he's coming at PFP projects because music artists can put on live experiences that most of these other projects wouldn't be able to compete with. So they were already saying that artists have in real life experiences built in. And the utility opportunities are endless, whether he gives examples of, being in a music video or backstage passes or free tickets to shows or smoking a blunt with Snoop or, exclusive merch or just shows to super fans, all types of ways and obviously getting royalties on the song. These are all different ways that could be utilities for music NFTs. On-chain revenue splits. The process of copywriting, licensing, and sample usage can happen permissionlessly. And that would be, if that happened, I mean, I don't know if that's going to happen in a year. That'll put a lot of people out of jobs. But I think will happen down the line. And as far as I heard from my HR friends, they are gearing up for that. There's a name for that. I don't know, Kaylee, if you know the name. It's like, I don't know, some kind of mass exodus from the job world or whatever. But anyway, that's happening and that's underway right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Okay. Emerging music DAOs will replace record labels. This is also really interesting to me because now it's all about, again, a cooperative. We're moving into a cooperative time in our society, just in general, y'all. So anyway, record labels provide 3 value props to artists: risk sharing, fan engagement, and distribution. Music DAOs can better drive these 3 value drivers. And I'm just going to stop there. So as you can see, he thought this through. He gave a lot of examples of why music NFTs are going to be huge. Now, if I can just find you guys, where is the video? Do you see me? I don't see you.
Oh, sorry, 1 second. Sorry. Yeah,
I
see your profile picture. Okay.
Okay, I found it. I'm sorry. Okay, so he gave a lot of examples. And so when I read that, I was like, he has a lot of great points and I agree with them. And so I wanted to talk music NFTs. I think they are going to be a great investment for this summer. So for all those people who are aspiring A&Rs, who feel like, they can catch the next big artist, I think you should just jump on in.
I agree. I think it's interesting. It's going to be interesting because a lot of these artists, they may have the #1 song, but they can't afford to pay their rent. They can't afford to take care of themselves. So that being able to do that on a smart contract is going to change everything. And I don't know that a mass exodus is called. I've heard it, but I don't know what it's called. But it's definitely going to happen soon. I agree with you on that. Yeah, guys. So we're going to look into photography NFTs. So this is becoming a large scale conversation. We're seeing photographers from any level of photography being able to come into NFTs and list their photos. So, I'm looking at this thread and it says that digital photography is not just made with a digital camera. When we scan film or use any other way to turn a photograph into a digital file, we are talking about photography being or becoming digital. So this is just the start of it. Transforming from Web 2.0 to Web 3 is this transition from them trying to sell their artwork through contracts or selling it through retail markets that don't really benefit them. It doesn't really help them long term. They're not they're not being able to build wealth and not being able to take it to its fullest extent. So I'm going to show you guys examples of how photography NFTs are being used on marketplaces and how photographers can build a smaller, their small fan base into a larger one through Discord, and how they can use NFT marketplaces to really advertise their photography work. So we're going to the Stacks Photography Guild is an example that I have here. This is a guild of photographers. They are all over the country, all over the world, and they're showcasing their photography. So sometimes they travel, some people travel hours to canyons, to waterfalls, to other places in the country, and they're using their cameras to capture the most beautiful parts of nature or the world. So we're seeing they're showcasing their first set. So my first photography set, Stacks Photography, One Life, and they're using NFT marketplaces to list their NFTs. So list their photography as NFTs. So these are more one-of-ones, which I will show you guys in a second. So if we scroll through here, we'll see the ranges of the photography. So Andre here is saying, here's my first mint on the Stacks network on behalf of the Photography Guild. So this was from the Trigamma collection that debuted earlier this month. And the artwork, not artwork, I want to say artwork so bad. So the photography has a high floor within this collection. Here are some more examples. These people are taking the time out of their day. They're investing hours into getting the perfect picture. And so, they're basically, a lot of them, struggle to sell or to advertise their work. And we're seeing that change. So here are just some examples as we're going through their Twitter page. And if we go on Discord, we'll see the communities that they build. So just like how influencers build their communities on YouTube and Twitter, we see the same thing here in the Photography Guild. They're able to build small knit channels where they can talk to their fan base directly, and they can, promote their photography work to them directly. I want to say artwork so bad. So here we're seeing Own Media. They're talking directly to their base. He can share like, hey, here's a quick tease of a 23 photo panorama. And this is one where he actually drove 3+ hours to the Grand Canyon for a sunset photo. So we're seeing the commitment, we're seeing it change. This is the change from Web 2.0 to Web 3 that I'm talking about. And if we go to the marketplace, we'll see that the categories that they have. So these photographers can list multiple collections, and they can list them as one-of-ones in a set and have people buy them or auction them off, where people can actually auction or bid for these NFTs, which is pretty cool. So sometimes the picture is the same and it differs in the background, differs in the color scheme, the contrast. That's one collection. We see structural reflections, which is still minting right now. This one isn't loading. But these are the examples that we see for photography NFTs. So we're seeing a change where they can actually build their fan base through Discord. They can communicate with their audience, their community. They can list on actual marketplaces through contracts. They can collect royalties every time the NFT switches hands. We see a huge change here from that. I believe that's all. Here's Jason Matthias. He's actually debuting a collection on Stacks soon. And he has his website and some of the artwork that he has. So we're seeing the NFT marketplaces, they're not only having NFT projects, they're having photography, they're having music, they're having art auctions. So the collections are really changing and varying as more people from different industries come into this space. So these are the advantages that we're seeing here.
Yeah, gaming on there too.
Oh yeah, gaming too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So while I was listening to you, I remembered, I was thinking about what else didn't I say about music NFTs? So, with me starting off the conversation about how I went to VCon, Gary Vee told us that the tickets, this is the first major ticketed event that's on the blockchain, right? And so he the last keynote was with Snoop and Snoop's son, and they talked about how they got into the space and all of that. And then they announced that they will be doing a collaboration, and only people who had the ticket for the conference will actually be given whatever that collaboration looks like. And it jumped like 0.10 to 0.20 ETH just with that announcement. So we talked about partnerships today. We talked about music NFTs today. It could be a music NFT. I'm not sure if it's going to be a music NFT, but that was super exciting. A little bit of alpha for you guys. And the same thing, like another example of, he also announced that if you have a gift goat, which is the Gary V Friends NFT that looks like a goat, it's a photo of a goat, but you get gifts. I think it's either 6 to 8 gifts a year. I forget the number of gifts you get. You get those gifts for the next 3 years, I believe. Anyway, he announced with Beeple that one of the gifts is going to be a collaboration with Beeple. So just wanted to give you some real life examples of some collaborations, which causes excitement for the community. Obviously, that price of the gift goat, right before the announcement, I looked as he made the announcement, I opened up OpenSea and I saw it, and boom, 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 they were selling, right? So the floor price went up quite a bit in just that second. Just to give you, some understanding and kind of bring it all home for you. Yeah, Snoop does have, he says Snoop has NFTs on Cardano. Snoop is trying to be everywhere, to be honest. He has NFTs everywhere. I'm just checking the chat really quickly before we wrap it up. Thank you for hanging out with us. It's been a little longer of a talk today. We just wanted to give a lot of value. We wanted to talk about community, and we wanted to give you some alpha on some other NFT projects as well. So I hope you thought that was valuable for you. And Landon talked about IPFS, and I wanted to shout out Storage. That the owner of Storage is a person of color, as a Black guy, and though we had a long conversation about how their storage is actually truly decentralized, and some of these storages are just using Amazon Web Services. So you guys, I know this is not on topic, but I just wanted to throw that out there for people that are in the chat. Yes, but thank you guys for joining us for this episode. I really appreciate you. I hope you got a lot of value out of it. Kaylee, you have anything to say before we go?
Oh, nothing much, but thank you guys for joining us today. Crypto BJ, where can they follow you at?
You guys know you can find me Crypto BAEJ on Twitter, on TikTok, on Instagram. That's where you can find me. And where can they find you?
You guys can find me at I am Kaylee BTC. And that's where you guys can find me at. Thank you guys for joining us today. It's been an awesome show. Thank you for joining, and thank you for asking your questions.
Yes, yes, yes. And until next time, keep your ears to the crypto streets.